Same press conference, of course, the next question was, does Israel have nuclear weapons? He said, we don't comment on that. The stated policy of Israel is to load up each Phantom and go as far as Moscow in those days. Yeah. I don't know who they would take out today, but any backers of client states. There is another scenario being worked out, though, which flips your scenario sort of in reverse, and it's the following. People forget that between 1956 and 1967, Israel faced a lot of the same kind of organized, paid-for propaganda. Aside from legitimate criticism, the Fedayeen at the time also had the support of major Muslim establishment. There was also nonsense going out. And then a remarkable thing happened in the Six-Day War. And in the Six-Day War, that victory led even the most dyed-in-the-wool, anti-Semitic Georgia cracker to say, them Jew boys can fight. So, and for 6 years, Israel could do everything. Quebec, by the way, a lot of people don't know this, Quebec had the greatest number of non-Jewish volunteers go to Israel after the 67 war than any political jurisdiction in North America except New York State. Over 3,500 went from here. That was also the time Lucien Gagnon went, Lucien Robillard went. It was remarkable. Moshe Dayan actually proposed population transfer. Because remember, there were 1.5 million Palestinians there, not 4.2 million as today, which makes the situation untenable. And he said, look, Ataturk threw 2 million Greeks out of Turkey in 24 months, and he's hailed as a father of modern Turkey. Why can't we just transfer them to Jordan, which is Palestine? And the cabinet, in the Jewish goodness, or whatever the hell it is, said, no, we can't do that, we don't do things like that, so ergo we are today. So, and of course Sharon escalated the problem with the settlement policy in the 80s, and it's just not working out. So, what's the alternative scenario along the lines of what you're suggesting? That since Israel was so successful after a clear-cut victory against clear-cut aggression, you reestablish the dynamic. Let Israel take a body blow, this time because of concerted pre-planning, not the stupidity of the Bar-Lev line in 73, and the intelligence failures and the failure of leadership of Golda Meir. Let Israel take a body blow. Let it spark an event. Short of nuclear war even, let it spark an event. And let it retaliate. Let it be so crystal clear on the level of 9/11. You've got 9/11 theorists who are saying that America sparked it to make a war on the Muslim Ummah. This time, that kind of situation is being planned. Not that Israeli agents are actually going to go and finance and take bombs and whatever to attack its own nation. But what they are talking about is once they get intelligence, the Churchill Coventry Cathedral kind of thing. Yeah. When they get intelligence on an ongoing attack, they will let a major one through. What is never reported in the press, of course, is good news. And I still start my day with 3 intelligence briefings 3 times a week. 9 suicide bombers a week is the average that Israel stops. Mainly, by the way, because of the security wall. These lunatics are actually trying to scale the wall. Before the wall was built to the degree it is, and yes, it's built too far into Palestinian territory, it should have been built on Israeli territory, the Supreme Court of Israel said that, they changed some of the parameters, be that as it may. Before the wall was built, Israel was stopping only 2 a week. From getting into Israeli territory. They're stopping 9 a week. They're going to let a couple of these through. And it's going to make the Dolphinarium bombing with the 35 dead kids look like nothing. It will make such carnage. It will stir such outrage in the world that from even the most neutral corner, people will be silenced. If there's another Islamic group in London that marches with signs saying, we will show you what a Holocaust is, they will be beaten into the submission in the streets of London.
I don't think it'll work out that way.
Maybe not. I'm telling you what's being planned in intelligence circles. When I talk to Julius, who says, Mr. Lovey-dovey, I love you, and everybody's fine, and everybody's equal, and nothing... When he comes back from London, and I don't know if you talked to him after his last trip from London, and he gets on the phone to me and he says, Beryl, it's impossible. Their faces are all covered. They're taking over London. This is Julius. Okay, this isn't me. This is him. Mr. I love you, touchy-feely. All it needs is an event of moral clarity and military purpose. And that's what's being talked about.
Yeah, well,
can we go?
A couple of questions.
No, wait a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
No, go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, please. I'm going somewhere with this.
Nicholson.
You're gonna lose the book.
Insulting people.
Don't interrupt.
Can I do the other one?
Yeah. You have got a good idea. You've been working on this for some time.